Hello and welcome to the 2017 Astrology for Cancer Sun and Cancer Rising. Thank you for joining me. Cancer, the overview of this year is that the planetary influences are much smoother than they have been in the previous years. The reason being for this is that out of the 13 major interactions between the planets, 9 of them involve Jupiter, which is the planet of opportunity and growth and good luck and that sense of confidence. Now, the major influences, one way to listen to this is to look at the overview and then put it into context of your life, not only for you to know what to expect, what you can expect can happen and when, but also how to work with these influences of the planets for your highest and greatest good, for your benefit. Now, Mercury will be going retrograde 4 times this year. It actually starts out retrograde. And so we begin January with Mercury retrograde. It isn't that big of a deal, but it does mean that this year can get off to a slow start. It goes direct on the 8th. So what you can expect, especially around work, is that people might be slow to get back from holidays or slow to get back into thinking about work. And then the 8th, that energy of Mercury going direct is, phew, okay, let's get at it. Here is the new year. And of course, we enter into the new year, and it's halfway across from your birthday year, right? We're in the Capricorn cycle, and Capricorn's opposite you. So you can have a larger viewpoint or bigger reflection than perhaps other people about moving forward. Now, there will be those 4 retrogrades that happen this year. They are occurring in the sector of your chart that deals with learning, knowledge, and relationships. So the energy, so when Mercury goes retrograde, it's a generic rethink time. But for you personally, there can be this sense of wanting to know a little bit more about things, more communication, a sense of being able to communicate what you feel and what you need more to others, and not only to the generic others, just anybody you interact with, but also with friendships. And that is that's one of those major themes that come in and out. They'll be more prominent when Mercury's retrograde. So they'll be more prominent. And so the first is we enter into the year. It starts the 16th in 2016 on December 19th, January 8th. Then the next phase of the Mercury retrograde is going to be in April. And then again, there's one in August. And then there's another one in December. Now, by the time you get to the December Mercury retrograde, that's in a fire sign. And that fire sign, it's in Sagittarius. And that really will deal more with rethinking how you want to spend your daily routine. But that energy, by the time we get to the end of this 2017, the energy in December is setting us up for 2018. Just like the energy at the end of 2016 is a precursor, it's a little whisper of what to expect in 2017. And there's some really beautiful interactions between the planets that represent moving forward with ease and grace. Now we go into February. We enter into an eclipse month. February and August are going to be the eclipse months. But the deal is that with this year, the eclipse patterns are changing because the node of the moon, what's called the node of the moon, is moving from the North Node, moving from Virgo, which is this collective energy of health food and more natural foods being prominent, and these go in 18-month intervals. So 18 months, including with eclipse patterns of maybe seeing more health food stores or natural food stores popping up here and there that geared towards more organic. Now it's going to shift into the Leo energy. Now, February was still teeter-totter between the two. So the lunar eclipse, which is on the 10th, that energy is shifting into your houses of money. And so when an eclipse happens, there can be something that pops up for you around finances. Oh, I want to be aware of this. Oh, let me make sure I pay attention to this. And then the solar eclipse, February 26th, reflects back to September 1st. That's from the old pattern. And so we have one more time in the older pattern for the next 18 years. It comes around again in 18 years. That is dealing with for you personally in a sector of your chart or your world that is highlighting, let me get my belief system really strong. Now, what is a belief system? Old times it was religion, but now it's not about dogma and religion. It's about what you believe. It's having faith, having confidence, and having a way of viewing the world that is supportive for you. Positive thinking, if you want to say it that way. But it's more than positive thinking. It goes to a deep core belief where you alter any negative beliefs that are holding you back or pulling you down. Now, March, the energy really starts to get excited as we will have Venus going retrograde in Aries. She's going retrograde in this sector of your world, of your chart, that is about rethinking your career and what you want to be known for in the world, what you want to do. And putting yourself out there a little bit more. It's like, wait a minute, let me have courage. Maybe I want to be a little bit more forceful. I have a little bit more courage and stand up for myself around where I'm working. And then in addition, in March, we have two combinations with this Jupiter energy. Remember I said Jupiter is taking center stage this year. Out of the 13 major aspects, interactions between the planets, Jupiter has 9 of them, and 2 of them are in March. One is the Jupiter-Uranus opposition, and we already had that the end of 2016, so that was the precursor. It comes up again. And then at the end of March, it's Jupiter-Pluto. So we have Jupiter with Uranus, Jupiter with Pluto. Jupiter-Uranus wants freedom. And so that sense of freedom's unexpected opportunity that can come up around your career. And it may impact your home and family life, but not necessarily in a negative way, because Jupiter is there and there's opportunity to move into a larger home, if that's what you want, or do something with your family, or that sense of where you live, where you feel really good about it. And then with Pluto is in opposite your sign, so it's a sector of other people, which is represents that but Jupiter-Pluto itself wants something big in life. Where do I want something big in life? And that's so personal, because you have to go to find that truth of that answer. That is going to your core values. What are my core values? I want something big. And because the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction happened, the cycle is always, in astrology we work in cycles, like, the new moon, full moon. All the other planets have their cycles too. So we're in the full cycle, as an example. The Jupiter-Uranus opposition is a full cycle. So boom, but it always started someplace. The Jupiter-Pluto cycle started in a sector of your world that represents your daily routine and having your daily life be comfortable. And to have your daily life be that as it may, so you feel free. Your freedom, whatever it is. Just freedom from clutter, freedom from being overwhelmed, freedom from things piling up, whatever it means to you. And yes, it does say you might have to have some cooperation with other people in your life in order for you to be able to do that. But that is part of that vibration that's happening in March. Now we move into April, and April is just as significant as, well, first off, Venus will go direct on the 15th. She's going direct, connected to Saturn, and Saturn's going to be going retrograde. And Saturn goes, all these outer planets go retrograde every year. That's in itself isn't a big deal, but when they're stationed, they're stronger. And the fact that Venus and Saturn are tying up together when she goes direct, it means that it's so important to really it brings to awareness of what's missing in your life, what's right, what's wrong, and wants to heal, because she's also with Chiron, wants to heal whatever's missing, wherever you're not happy, so you can move forward. And then as we, trudge along and also Pluto will go retrograde that month, and Pluto is that sense of owning our own power, becoming empowered. But sometimes how that happens is we end up in power struggles with other people. It's like, wait a minute, don't bully me. I don't want to be bullied, wherever that may be in your personal life, whether it's around work or just other people thinking that they can ask you for something where you feel is not cool. So there's that intensity at that time too. And then May is when the smoothness with the Uranus Saturn trine comes in. Now we had the Saturn Uranus trine at the end of December, just like we had the Uranus Jupiter opposition as a precursor. Now what this means is this is the last year that Saturn will be in Sagittarius. And in that sector, get your daily life in order, get your routines in order, do the work that needs to be done, paying your dues so you can have the larger things in life that you want. And if you've done that, then this trine with Uranus represents flowing. It's really, you can really start to see it happening and flowing. And it has something to do with what you want to do in life, whether it's overall career desire or something else that's important to you. And then also we have a combination with Jupiter and Neptune. Now this Jupiter and Neptune combination is about making adjustments in life. They have to do with compassion. They have to do with understanding. And this compassion and understanding and adjustments really has to do, in your chart, it's connecting with family. And it's connecting with family, it's connecting, having compassion for however they may be stuck in life, especially if they're stuck in such a way where their thinking is a little retrograde. And I don't mean in a planetary sense, but just in a sense of old-fashioned or dogmatic. Now, August, okay, June, July, of course, that's your birthday month, fresh start. But August, and right after that August energy is the eclipse season. And that eclipse energy is highlighting your financial sector of your world. But that financial sector of your world also is highlighting, it's emphasizing, it's giving a little boost, a vitamin shot, so to speak, being self-confident and developing your own innate talents. Because if you develop the gifts that you came onto the world with, then of course you're going, if you choose to do so and put it out there, then the abundance comes back in, right? Well, I have this gift. I give the energy, the money comes in return for that. Now, as we're moving towards the September and October time, the energy begins to shift again. October 10th, Jupiter goes into Scorpio, water sign to water sign. It's going in the sector of your world, of your chart, that represents expanding and having the opportunity to do more of the things that you enjoy to do, to have more romance in your life, to, if you have children, it's better relationships with children. Or if you want children, then that too. And really just connecting with what is fun, bringing more fun into your life. Now, as we move further into the year and we begin to close out the year, and just like for 2017, the energy started to move at the very end of 2016, giving us a snapshot of what to expect because of the planetary patterns. They started right after end of November and then very strong at the end of December. The same thing is happening in 2017, giving us a snapshot of what to expect into 2018. As Saturn will go, well, first off, Jupiter in October goes into Scorpio and will be there most of 2018. But the big deal is Saturn will leave Sagittarius, go into Capricorn. And Jupiter and Saturn are going to be making this combination aspect, angle to each other that represents releasing and preparing for the next new phase. Think of new moon, new phase between Jupiter and Saturn that is going to be happening in 2020, which is a huge year because there's going to be a Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter all in Capricorn. So not only is it going to be giving this little precursor there. Now, well, what's it mean for you? Saturn going into Capricorn is Saturn opposite your sign. So that is that sense of looking at, once again, relationships in your life, those that work, those that don't, which ones to put the effort into, and which ones are, they've lived their course. So that's part of that taste that you will be getting at the end, but it's way at the end of 2017. Thank you very much for tuning in. And there is a drop down at the upper left-hand side of your screen in YouTube, if you're on YouTube, where you can click down and see Watch Later. If you click that, then you can go back into it sometime during 2017 when something comes up. It's like, oh, what was this all about? What was it? How is it I was supposed to be able to work with the energies? Oh yeah, the Saturn, Jupiter, there's this trine energy. If I get my daily routines down in a way that's supportive of me, then my career really takes off. And that if I, communicate more with friends, then that sense of harmony begins to flow more in my life, etc., etc. Thanks again. Have a wonderful, very happy New Year.